What we are looking at now is factoring polynomial functions. And this is a little bit different because before, when we factored something, we factored it with squared and something like uh, this. All right, and what I noticed is that these are this was a square and that was to the first power. But I can do whatever I did with this to factor out this expression because if I notice right here and here, the powers are double each other. Well, right here, if I look here and here, the powers are double each other. Okay? So we're going to do this the same way we did before. I look at what's in front of my x to the fourth. There's a 1. What gets me 1? 1 and 1. And what gets me 84 or 64? I get negative 8, negative 8, negative 4, negative 16, negative 2, negative 32, and negative 1, and negative 64. The reason why I choose two negatives is because the middle term is negative. Now, I know right now that I will have a 1 and a 1. Now, if I think about this, I could have x squared. I know x squared times x squared gets me x to the fourth. And I know x times x cubed gets me x to the fourth. Okay? But what can I add that gets me an x squared? Can I add an x and an x cubed to get me an x squared? Or an x squared and an x squared to get me an x squared? Yeah, I can. X squared plus an x squared will get me an x squared. So I know that's what's in front of the 1 is a 1x squared. Okay? Well, now I play the guess and check game of trying to figure out what times what gets me negative 64, and then what can I put in that gets me a negative 16. So look, if I put a negative 4 and a negative 16, I know that I have x to the fourth minus 16x squared. All I'm doing is multiplying. Minus 4x squared minus 64. Well, that doesn't work because I get negative 20x squared. So I know this is not an option. Okay? So we're going to still go with 1x squared and a 1x squared. But this time I'm going to put a minus 8 down. So I get x to the fourth minus 8x squared minus 8x squared minus plus 64. So that checks out. So this is the factored form. So let's look one little bit more complicated. So what gets me a 6? I got 6 and 1, 3 and 2. Then I got negative 7 and 5, negative 5 and 7, negative 1 and 35, negative 35 and 1. So I want to guess and check which is going to work out. So let's just say I know I have an x squared and an x squared. So I got to think about what do I want to put in place of x. Well, why don't we just choose maybe this 3 and 2? Like maybe I put a 3 and a 2 down. And now we want to figure out what can I put where. So what if I put a minus 7 and a plus 5? What happens? So I got the minus 7 and a plus 5 from this. I got the 3 and the 2 to get me that 6. So right now I have 6x squared plus 15, or 6x to the fourth plus 15x squared minus 14x squared minus 35. So that doesn't work because I get a plus 1x squared, and I want to get a minus 1x squared. So we're going to switch it. 3x squared plus 7, and then 2x squared minus 5. So this gets me a minus or plus 14x squared That gets me a minus 15x squared. So that checks out. Let's look at one more. So right here, I have two perfect squares, and there's a minus sign in front of them. So that kind of looks like it's a sum and difference pattern. So what square gets me 25? I know 5 and 5. What gets me 3? 3 and negative 3. So if I look at this, it gets me 5x squared minus 3, 5x squared plus 3. Okay? So that's minus 15x, that's positive 15. This is minus 15x squared, that's a positive 15x squared, which cancels out. So this is the factored out solution. So what I want you guys to try to do is try these three questions, and we'll go over them in class. See you tomorrow.